going on YouTube? T-Flame here with another video, and today we're going to be talking about 5 Pokemon that were introduced in generations after Generation 4 that I think have a chance of being in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I understand that Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl seem to be one-to-one remakes for the most part, which a few touch-ups and quality life improvements, but nothing really too new or special. There's been really nothing advertised. Like, we don't see Dialga and Palkia are being the legendaries advertised. No Primal Dialga, no Primal Palkia, so a lot of people are thinking that we're not going to get anything like outside of games like Megas in these games, but I think there are a few Pokemon that were introduced in future generations past Gen 4 that I think have a pretty solid chance of being in these games. But this is just speculation. All of this has a chance of being completely wrong, and it's okay if it's wrong. Like, that's the thing about Pokemon hype seasons that is always fun and interesting, that you can really make a left field prediction and it can be wrong, but then there's a chance that it could be right. Who would have thought that freaking Ultra Necrozma would be, there would actually be a boss battle in a Pokemon game? Like, who would have thought that? Nobody. So, it's really fun. You can put out their thoughts. But anyway, let's get into this. So, number 5, I personally think every single Mega Pokemon, except 2, have a high chance of being in these games. Why? Because look at this list. There's only 2 Pokemon in this list that are not in the National Dex for Pokemon Platinum, being Audino and Diancie. Both of those Mega Evolutions are not really the most popular ones. And so I know a lot of people have been talking about there's not going to be any new Mega Evolutions, which I can understand there not being any new Mega Evolutions, but I think there is possibility for most of the old ones to return because there's only 2 that were introduced that are Pokemon that are not in Gen 4. But all of these Mega Pokemon were obtainable in Pokemon Platinum. I mean, not the Mega Pokemon themselves, but just the Pokemon that you would need. All of them you could get in Pokemon Platinum. So I think that if they added Mega Evolution, they wouldn't have to make any new Megas. They could just make it return, and practically we would have all of the old Mega Evolutions we had been using in Pokemon Sun and, well, we haven't used since Sun and Moon. And then we saw this in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, where they brought back Mega Evolution, but it was only the Gen 1 Pokemon. So I think that there's a possibility that we see, and they brought back only Gen 1 Pokemon Mega Evolutions and did not add any. I know a lot of people were thinking, what if they added like Mega Golem or something like that? But there's warrant to say that in a remake, because in the previous remake, the last remake we saw was Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and Mega Evolutions were brought back, but none new were added, right? But they were revealed ahead of time, so we probably would have seen it if it was going to return by now, which is why this is at number 5 on the list. I don't think it's incredibly likely, but I think that it is definitely possible that we could see all the old Mega Evolutions return without any new ones. Because, and then not only that, in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, they brought back Mega Evolutions, but didn't even add any new ones. So that's why I think Mega Evolutions could easily return. Number 4, we have MIMIKW. Now, this is a little out there, but I just wanted to say that MIMIKW is one of the newest Pokemon that has a lot of love and attention for it, and it took Sun and Moon by storm, and they added a special Z move for it in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and then it made an appearance in Sword and Shield. And I think a lot of the Pokemon that were in Sword and Shield were put there because they were fan favorites. So you saw Tyranitar, Garchomp, even though Garchomp was DLC. But I really think that MIMIKW has become a really popular Pokemon, and I think in the haunted area where you get Rotom, it'd be kind of funny to see a MIMIKW there, and it's something that they could easily throw in. It's a disguised Pokemon that I think they could do something really creepy with, especially in the underground area where we know we're going to be able to get Pokemon that can only be found there, meaning that presumably all the other Pokemon that aren't native to Sinnoh, that weren't even in the Platinum Dex, like maybe other starters, could be found there. So what's to say we can't find some newer Pokemon, like in a spooky area, put MIMIKW. So that's why I think MIMIKW could return, because it's a fan favorite ghost type, and personally I just want to see it return. And I think it got a lot of love and a lot of fan praise during Gen 7, and I think a fair bit during Gen 8 as well. Coming in at number 3, we got Greninja. Now, Greninja, ever since it was introduced, it became an extremely popular Pokemon, and I understand being popular was the main reason why I used for MIMIKW possibly being in these games. But here's the thing: Greninja has been proven to be the #1 most popular Pokemon ever since it was introduced. There was that Pokemon of the Year thing, which proved Greninja to be the most popular Pokemon in the world at that point. And I think it was a real disservice to not have it in Sword and Shield. And I think that was mainly because they were still adjusting to the popularity of Greninja when Sword and Shield were coming out. So I think that definitely we could see that Greninja could be added just because it's like a Charizard in my opinion. I think it's the next Charizard because Charizard is always hyped up, and we always seen Charizard get Charizard has been advertised by Pokemon ever since Gen 6. And, well, mainly advertised. Ever since Pokemon became a lot more mainstream, you see Charizard everywhere. And I think Greninja is something that you can see, especially because of its inclusion in Super Smash Bros. So I think that Greninja is a really popular Pokemon that if people knew were in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl would be like, hey, I haven't been able to use a Greninja in like 3 years because they took it out of Sword and Shield. So I think that adding Greninja, and then not only that, adding Ash Greninja would be really cool. Especially because we're seeing Ash bond with his Lucario, something that he first did with his Greninja. But anyway, Greninja's a long shot, but I just think that if there's old Pokemon that they could add back, I definitely think Greninja is going to be one of those because it would be the most demanded. And not only that, I'm not even going to include the other Kalos starters because Greninja has been soloed out because it got the Ash Greninja form, and there was no Ash Delphox or Ash freaking Chestnut. So I don't think that the other starters need to be included. Mainly just, they probably will just throw them in there, but Greninja will still come back. But I think that popularity, Greninja. Anyway, number 2, these two Pokemon are the main reason why I made this list, and it's mainly because I think these Pokemon more than any others are the prime candidates for newer Pokemon being added, and those are the Basculin, Zorua, and Braviary. Why? All of these Pokemon have Hisuian forms in Pokemon Legends Arceus, right? So I think that it would be fitting to have the non-Hisuian counterparts accessible in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, in which you could transfer them over to Pokemon Legends Arceus. Because every single time there is a regional form introduced, there's always a way to get the non-regional variant of it. In Pokemon Sun and Moon, when we first saw this, there are places where you could trade for the original one, right? So I think that these original forms are definitely going to be in Legend Arceus, but I think that it'd be cool to make them obtainable in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl to sort of prepare yourself for Pokemon Legends Arceus. And all of these Pokemon were obtainable in Sword and Shield as well. So I think that worst case scenario, you have to get them from Sword and Shield. But I still think that because these are gonna be Pokemon that are gonna be hyped up going into Legends Arceus, they're going to want to hype up their original forms as well. So I really think that we could potentially see these older Pokemon be accessible, just because it just makes sense being able to get these in, especially if like you're a new Pokemon fan, right? And you just buying Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, right? I think that because Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are gonna be like advertised alongside Legends Arceus, right? So I think that you should be able to get these forms by only buying, let's say, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Legends Arceus, compared to having to buy Sword and Shield and the Sinnoh remakes and Legends Arceus. So I think that just for simplicity's sake, we're going to see these obtainable. If not Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, they're definitely going to be obtainable in Legends Arceus. But I think that it'd be cool to have them in Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. And the main Pokemon that made me make this list, which is going to be a theme for all these Pokemon commentaries when I make a list, the main Pokemon is always going to be number 1. The one that inspired me to do this list is Sylveon. Hey yo, Tony from the future here. This part's audio got muffled. I don't know why it did, but anyway, all I'm saying is that these games are going to have the fairy type, and Glaceon and Leafeon were introduced in these games, and there'd only be one evolution that they would need to add to have all of them in these games, so I decided might as well add Sylveon, and yeah, so that's basically all I said right here. There you go. And not only that, in this game we saw Leafeon and Glaceon, 2 new evolutions that were introduced in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and I think that adding this, there would be only one evolution that you could not get if it was not added. So I think because the fairy type is going to be in this game, and I think they're going to want to make it accessible, especially because it is going to be, there's going to be pretty wide Pokedex, and so I think that it's going to be, I think they're going to want to have some fairy type representation in there. And I think adding Sylveon is going to be a way to do that. I know that there's going to be Gardevoir that you could get, and maybe Mawile and other Pokemon like that, but I really think that adding Sylveon, not only has Sylveon become increasingly popular, you've been seeing a lot of attention towards Sylveon in like Pokemon Unite and games like that, and Sylveon has become one of the sort of like advertiser Pokemon, like in Pokemon Cafe Remix, I think I saw Sylveon there, but it's one of those Pokemon along with Greninja and Charizard that you're starting to see be advertised a lot more, alongside Eevee. So I think that, and not only that, Sylveon is easily the most popular evolution. So I think that since the fairy type is going to be in these games, you're going to want some fairy representation. I think when you think fairy, the first Pokemon that we saw be revealed as fairy type was Sylveon. And I think that it would be easy to just be like, oh, Eevee can evolve into Sylveon. Boom. And then you don't, it's one of those Pokemon where you wouldn't have to change a whole lot. It wouldn't be a disservice to Diamond and Pearl to add Sylveon in. Mainly because, like, Eevee evolves into Sylveon by learning a fairy type move. Eevee is going to learn a fairy type move like Charm or Baby Doll Eyes in these games, right? So I think that you, like, just because all it needs is that move in Friendship and you could get a Sylveon, you could just naturally get it. It's not like you're going to need to go out of your way to get it. Like, you don't have to introduce a whole new item to get Sylveon. Sylveon could just fit because Eevee, more likely than not, they're not going to take out, like, completely rearrange Eevee's moveset, I don't think. So because Sylveon just naturally evolves from Eevee just by learning a simple move, and it wouldn't be like you have to change a lot of things to accommodate for it. For example, like Ash Greninja, that whole battle bond thing, that might be a little weird to accommodate. Or maybe even like Mega Evolutions, you have to change a lot to incorporate those. Like you have to add locations and all that. But for Eevee, literally, all you gotta do is keep Eevee's moveset the same, Baby Doll Eyes, learn it, boom, Sylveon. So I think that it's really easy to include Sylveon more than any of these other Pokemon, and I think that because it's so easy, they might as well just do it. And especially because fairy type is going to be in these games, they're going to want to advertise it. Sylveon's popular. Anyway, so if y'all like this video, please leave me a like. Leave any topics you want me to talk about. I'm going to be streaming Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it on YouTube or Twitch, or maybe even both. Maybe I'll freaking stream it on Twitch and then upload highlights to YouTube. But anyway, I'll see y'all in the next video.